I'm going to attempt to clear it up. The committee spent the last 2 days doing some very confusing things. First, they hinted at hepatitis B being no longer recommended for infants at birth. And there were some hints that they were going to vote to increase it all the way up to 4 years of age, which is not based in infectious disease recommendations because the majority of children affected the most negatively by hepatitis B are infants and toddlers. So if an infant and toddler gets hepatitis B, they get deathly ill, and it disproportionately affects them and unalives them. So waiting until 4 to get Hep B would be not based in clinical science, not based in infectious disease recommendations, and certainly not based in epidemiology. It would just be based in the anti-vax notion that hepatitis B in infants is causing problems, which it is not. I've been giving it for 19 years at the birth dose to thousands of patients, and it has not caused a single adverse reaction. The next thing they did was they recommended splitting out MMR and varicella at the 1-year visit. We haven't been doing that for years. Many practices still do it. I do not. I believe in less is more when it comes to vaccines. I do not like to give all these extra shots when we don't have to. If we have a combination vaccine, I try to give it. There's only one combination vaccine I don't use, and that is because it's too expensive for my practice to keep it. And I would have to still get the other vaccine anyway, so then I have to store twice as many vaccines. So, long story short, MMRV was beneficial to children because they get one less shot at 1 and at 4. Recommending splitting it back up after we did that for several years because of concerns about febrile seizures. We already did that. We did post-marketing, and it was found to be safe. So our office was delighted to do MMRV again several years ago. Again, several years. So several years have gone by, and we've continued to give MMRV to 1-year-olds, and there has been no issues. No issues. I've given hundreds of that doses to babies, technically 1-year-olds. They still are waffling about COVID. They will not recommend it for young, healthy people. They will not recommend it for children. They're saying it has to be your choice, and that's vague, and that is a step away from the norm. They should say things like the data supports routine recommended COVID vaccines for individuals that want to prevent COVID and want to prevent long COVID. But they won't do that. They just want to be confusing. So at the end of the day, a lot of people are like, well, not much happened. And I'm like, actually, a lot happened. They created a lot of confusion. They have left a trail of breadcrumbs for lawyers and other disreputable people to come after physicians and hospitals and clinics. They've left a trail of hesitation and hesitancy for parents that were kind of on the fence and not sure. So when you have scientists and doctors who a majority of this ACIP is not of the same caliber as they used to be. This is a group of scientists and doctors who lean towards the anti-vax side, even though they know they can't really truly get rid of vaccines. They're just trying to nudge things here and there, and they're trying to create chaos and confusion, and that is what they've succeeded at. They left everybody really scratching their head and confused and upset. And today, my office manager and my partner, we were all texting in a group text, and we're like, what are we going to do about this? And I'm like, I'm going to follow the AAP guidelines because The AAP is clear. We're not changing the schedule because there's nothing about the schedule that's harmful. This idea that the schedule was not tested is nonsense. It's been used for years and followed for years and tested. This idea that we're giving more vaccines than we ever did, we are giving more shots per se, but now less because we combine things, but now more again because they want to decombine things. But we are actually giving 90% less antigens. So let me be clear. The current sets of vaccines are extremely fine-tuned to get just the specific sets of antigens that give your body the ability to fight off infections that are deadly and dangerous. The older vaccines that when I was a kid that were used were hundreds of antigens, sometimes thousands of antigens, and had a lot more side effects and a lot more problems. And we learned our lesson. Make the antigens more fine-tuned, use adjuvants, and make these vaccines safer with less adverse reactions. And that's what's happened. My whole career has seen the adverse reactions to vaccines plummet, and yet people are easily fooled into thinking that vaccines have become less safe. In fact, they've become more safe. So, the end of all this ACIP meeting is confusion, chaos, and hesitancy. And that's not what we needed. We needed confidence, we needed reassurance, and we didn't get that. We got a person going like this, threatening, sticking the fist up, ooh, 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 and then not doing as bad as we thought. It was cruel. It was inappropriate. Some of the things said at the meeting, like comparing hot dogs with mercury to vaccines with mercury. And vaccines, first of all, vaccines don't contain mercury. 94% of vaccines don't even contain thimerosal, which is not mercury. It's a mercury compound that is easily eliminated from the body. It's not the same as mercury. Elemental mercury is toxic and harmful. Thimerosal is not. Aluminum salts are eliminated from the body. Aluminum, the metal, you don't eat that. It tastes terrible, and it would just kind of go through your body. And if it was aluminum foil, it might actually kind of cause some harm going through your GI tract. But I digress. The point is they just want to create confusion. They succeeded. And that's frustrating.